Well, welcome everyone, depending on what part of the country you're in. Good morning or good afternoon. We want to thank all the members of AACS for joining us today. We are excited to have you here. We really have a two-part webinar today. First, I'd like to do a couple quick introductions. I think everyone knows our chair, Cathy Koluch. Cathy, thanks for joining us today. Cathy's going to give us a little update on the association and what a dynamic year that we've been having. And I want to introduce everyone also to Amanda Daly. Amanda's our new membership director, and we'll be sharing a little bit more about her role later on and why she's pivotal for all of you that are on the call today. So with that, Cathy, I'd like to turn it over to you to get started. Tell us about AACS 2024.
Yep, thank you so much. Thank you everybody for joining us today. I'm actually doing this on my phone because I have apparently unstable internet this morning. So I just wanted to give you a quick update. I cannot believe it's July 31st. We are more than halfway through 2024. And, we're just working fast and furious every single day for the membership. Last year we had some pretty big goals, and one of them was to grow the association and to have better communications. Those were two of our main priorities, and 2024 was not any different. I will tell you that I am very proud to let you all know that we have roughly 150 new members between school members and partner members that were not members just a year and a half ago. That's really big, because for the 7-8 years I've been on the board, I think that really we probably only had about 20 new members. So kudos to Cecil and his team for taking that from the board, that this was a priority, and making it happen. So why is that important to you as a member? So number one, we want to make sure that AACS is financially strong, but we also want to make sure that our footprint grows every year, because one of the top things we do every year is government relations. And so the more new members we have, the bigger our footprint gets on Capitol Hill. And that's both sides of the aisle. Any more House members and Senate members that we can visit and share our success stories is worth our time. So we want to continue to grow our footprint. And at the state level, as we know, the last 8 to 10 years have brought new threats to our states for deregulation, lowering of hours, and just really changing the scope of what we teach. And so the more people we have in different states, make sure that we can stay on top of things, stop things that are, definitely not beneficial to our schools and to our students. And so that's why continuing to grow our association will always be a priority. Now, we do have momentum on the government relations side. As you know, we got a lot of lawsuits out there. But we have been able to, as an industry, AACS is not the stakeholder in all of the lawsuits, but the BDR, Borrower's Defense to Repayment, is over and done with, permanent pause. The 150% rule, as we know, the judge ruled in favor of a nationwide preliminary injunction, and so that case will be argued in court. And then, of course, our case, gainful employment, is on track with the schedule, and cross your fingers that stays on track and we can see a decision by January of 2025. And so, we continue to stay on top of it. I would encourage you that if you are not attending our government relations meetings every month, that's where you can get more in-depth information on that. At annual is coming up October 25th through the 27th in Houston. On October 24th, we are hosting a come one, come all to a state relations meeting, because if the threats of deregulation or lowering of hours hasn't hit your state, it probably will. And one of the things that AACS and Cecil has done in particular, he has helped some states organize. I know that in Arizona, it hit us. We got blindsided about 7 years ago. Thank goodness we got great school owners here in Arizona. We were able to mobilize and work together as a team. Sometimes it's harder in different states, but this meeting is going to be about how do you organize and how do you mobilize your schools and your students in the industry to make sure that, our industry is not negatively affected by what's going on out there. So if you haven't signed up for annual, this is going to be the first thing you do when you get off this webinar today is to register for annual. One of the things that I'm really excited about is that Cecil and I were invited to Congressman Burgess Owens' policy retreat in South Carolina in a couple weeks. It's August 12th through the 15th. And for those of you that aren't sure who he is, he's a congressman from Utah, and he currently chairs the subcommittee for higher education. He knows us well. He's been to our conferences. He's been to our Hill Day. We've done fundraisers for him. And he is one of two people that is up to being the new chair of the Education and Workforce Committee as a whole. And we have been trying to help him achieve that goal. And so Cecil and I were invited. We have a private dinner with him on that Wednesday evening where we are going to be able to talk to him about AACS's unique priorities for the future. So I think it's an honor that we got invited, and we want to continue that relationship with Congressman Owens to make sure that he always has us top of mind as they are doing policy in the Education Committee. Just a week ago, 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, we just had a very, very successful CEA in Houston. If you didn't go or you didn't send your teachers, wow, did you miss out? And you got to get signed up for next year. We're still working on the location, but it was jam-packed with information on how to engage your students, mental health, how to take me to we to have better, strong teamwork frameworks on your campuses, not just with your teachers, but with your students. We had these amazing keynote speakers, Jerry Watkins and Q. And one of the requirements that we made for our speakers this year was to have a bring home, like hard copy, you can touch it, it's not a QR code, strategy document that they can take back to their owners and their leadership to create some strategies to implement what they learned at CEA. If you save one student, it was worth the time and the money to send your staff. If they refer one person, it was worth it. So I kind of follow the R&R rule, retention and referral, and it's always a good investment when I send my staff. And I would highly encourage you to look out for information as we plan for next year and send your staff. What else? AACS has made a lot of changes in the last year. We're fully staffed, and that's why we're making great headway. Communications. If you're on social media, you're going to see all over Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and whatever else we're on, all the updates, events and speakers and pictures of our schools doing really great things. If you're doing really great things, you have some event at your school, not just members of Congress, but you're doing, haircuts for the new school year, or you're doing some charity event or a fashion show for charity, whatever it is, please send it to us. We want to promote it and show our good works across the country. Tons of e-blasts going out to memberships. And then, of course, Cecil's going to be here to talk to you about our new website. One of the things that I failed to mention that I wanted to bring up, kind of back to why it's so important for all of our new school members, is that when you join AACS, you are getting a constant flow of information, not just on government relations, but also compliance, how to stay on top of the rules, admissions, marketing, just operational issues to make you a stronger organization. I've learned a ton over the years, and I've been in the industry for 35 years. And every time I go to a webinar or I attend a convention, I'm learning something new, or I'm dusting off the cobwebs of something that I haven't thought for a while. And I'm like, yes, I need to re-implement that because that makes a difference. And why is that important? Is that when we have stronger schools doing good things, that improves our reputation out in the industry, at the state level, and at the federal government level. What else? Golden School Awards. It's Golden School Awards time. It's coming up. That's one of our big things at annual conference. I know my staff is running around trying to put videos together, compositions for all the different categories. I know that Cecil's been pushing out information on that. And, you know, the more people that we have do this, the bigger the Golden School Award becomes. And it is one of the best marketing tools that you can have. You can put a badge on your website. You can talk about it in admissions. And it's a source of pride on your campus because it's really about your staff and what they do on an everyday basis and your students. So look for more information and make sure that you sign up for Golden School Awards. Also, elections for board members is coming up. We have a number of seats that are going to be open. We have had a really good response. And I know that people have been afraid of the time commitment. And I am here to tell you that the board has completely changed and transformed itself over the last 2 or 3 years, from an operational hands-on board to an advisory board. The whole idea for a board of directors is to come up with, you know, the vision for the year, and then we pass it on to the executive director, who is our fearless leader, Cecil Kidd, and then he works with the staff to make those initiatives happen. And so, you know, there's a couple of meetings a month, but it's been one of the most fulfilling things I've ever done. And so if you're thinking about it, you definitely need to check it out. And Garrett Schuler is in charge of that area. And so he's the one to reach out to. And I know, again, information was sent out on that. And lastly, just, you know, another little plug for annual. It's our 100th year anniversary. Can you believe it? This little association, no matter who comes after us, through thick and thin, we survive because we all come together to make sure that we do survive. So we're going to have a party to end all parties. So ladies, get your gowns. Guys, you know, brush the dust off your suits or your tuxes. It's going to be a gala. And we're all going to get together and have a good time and toast some champagne. But we're going to have great sessions on, again, government relations, compliance, operations, and just how to continue to build our schools, make them the best that they can be, because we're going to win this lawsuit and we're not going anywhere. So with that, I am going to turn it over to Cecil, because one of the new greatest innovations is we have this new amazing website with a member portal, and he is going to take you through it step by step so you know how to utilize it and make sure that you're getting the most out of it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your membership. And thank you for all of your support for AACS. You are making a difference. So with that, Cecil.
Cathy, thank you so much.